Nishikigi戦。
All right, brand new Ozeki Hoshoryu, the Mongolian nephew of Asashoryu, the famous Yokozuna from the 2000s, is now on the dohyo, and Hoshoryu, of course, wanting to make his own mark in sumo and perhaps make it to Yokozuna himself one day. And here he is in his first tournament at the second highest rank in sumo, Ozeki, and he is at 3-3. This is his day 6 performance yesterday against Asanoyama. And good performance yesterday against Asanoyama to get the win. Great throw at the edge, and that broke a losing streak, and he's evened out at 3-3 now. He can go to 4-3 today with a win over the Komusubi, but Nishikigi is a good opponent, fearsome fighter himself, and he's also at 3-3. So both men want to get that fourth win here today on day 7. We'll see how it does. 24 years old, 187 centimeters. I want to say that's about 6'2", and didn't see his kilos, but he hasn't put on an excessive amount of weight, and he's a very, very strong guy. And there is his supporter towel being held by one of the younger people in the crowd. Sumo obviously appeals mostly to an older audience, but I think younger people maybe get brought, by their grandparents, etc. And I often hear from my students, because they know I have a sumo channel, for most of them, and they know I'm into sumo. Yeah, Mr. Harris, I never really watch sumo, and for most of them, it's on, only until 6 p.m. on a weekday. They're barely getting home from school and probably relaxing and watching YouTube and doing homework. And I said, but if I go to my grandpa's house, they always tell me if I go to my grandparents' house, yeah, my grandfather's watching it. Sometimes I'll see a little of it, or something like that. But if any of you do any of you watch TV anymore? On TV, when they do the sports update, here's the sports, and in America they tell you about football and basketball, baseball, golf, tennis, whatever. Sumo is a regular fixture. They still update who's winning the basho and who the leaders are, and they usually show 10 seconds of some highlight match of the day on the NHK News and the other news programs that are on Japanese television, which again at this point in history is mostly watched by old people. A lot of younger people don't watch television at all, and some of them, especially when you get into your 20s, I think nowadays, don't pay for cable, don't get any kind of terrestrial television. They just do everything on, Netflix and apps and, watching on their phones and iPads and computers. And very different world that we live in 2023. Okay, says the old man with an iPhone in his hand, taping with an iPad, etc. And so I try to know what's happening. My students, one of the reasons I love teaching is my students keep me quote unquote young. They do let me know what's going on in the world of young people, and I try to know at least what's happening in their lives and try to relate to what it's like to be them and have grown up with the internet all their lives, etc. My students, so maybe you can relate if you have children of your own, or nieces and nephews, or young people, or you're a young person yourself. I don't think I have a lot of teenagers that watch my channel, but perhaps a few young people. Okay, here we go. Hoshoryu, of course, on your right. Nishikigi in the green on your left. Whoa!
どちらが大関かという相撲です。押し出し錦木の勝ち。自信取ってますね。これね、堂々とした相撲です。当たってるんですけどね、軽いから。
Big win for the Komusubi there, because you got to think when you're at Komusubi, hey, maybe I'm going to lose to all three Ozeki. So that's 3 losses, in my quest to get 8 and stay at Komusubi, etc. and here he gets a big win over an Ozeki, and in convincing fashion too. So good for Nishikigi to go to 4-3. Hoshoryu still having problems in his debut. The main thing he doesn't want to do, obviously, is not get his Kachikoshi. He's not going to win the Yusho, but he had 3 losses in a row on days 2, 3, and 4. Broke that streak, got 2 wins in a row, and now another loss. But yeah, he just wants to make sure he gets to 8. Doesn't want to go Kadoban in his very first tournament by not getting to 8. So we'll, of course, be monitoring his progress through the whole second week into day 15. Okay, Taki K show up next. Come on back.